Memwache Emma Wakwaba Edoba Nnawotwi Yi so wa Adom TV ene eya Sempa FM. Baby a obi ane da se wode wafide na to ha oba behwe ye. Nnawotwi mu nsema esi ye ene emo ne ye yi se eba be pensen mu ena ye hia se eba be di ho nkomo. Onim se Nnawotwi yete se GPRT for any Ghana Road Transport Corporation Coordinating Council at the JB by Senka yente AFS so by 10%. I don't know ko yechi na enya adwuma omontumi afa anya adwuma na transport fares yente so a na etia na esitie na otwe we mu nso yenya te se galamsey amona bi ebuto mu ewo kole te ewo takoso site ewo Brim North District Eastern Region emankofo song FM ehwe omonkwa na otwe we mu nso na Ghana socialite bakwa oba so be ye ne obebre Africa de do be na otondwom ka ho Hajia for real yedine fi United Kingdom edine kopie ewo USA se nsem o mayhwehwe mu kire se na or take advantage of and penning for more US or more retirement and so na omo hia don or take advantage de gi omo sika bebre na no nam so mo hwehwe mu ntom de ne call ye US penning for the betu dwa say ombema no bail na so bail no de mema no the GPS tracker be beto ne 9 ebebo omo hu bebi a obekọ enyinara Nnawotwi we mu nso no NDC fo abom koto no Nnawotwi etwa mu nso hu nso no beto dwa yete se 16 MPs omoda so awo akonya so elusu omo candidacy on candidate asa ombesan akwa pre akonya no on the ticket of omo party no Nnawotwi we mu nso yenim se Gihawk staff e de beto dwa se omo MD ebeyanka ban enyene nsinchan fi se obaye no omboaye ma Gihawk nko nanim obaye nsensama nanka also ekonanim wo Gihawk nyina no ate akonachi enti omunya yanka ndie omunye nsin enachi na Nnawotwi we nso asem kese e ba ya Ghana ha nyinara dodo na energy ye eye akwantwa ye tu no afeda abesi etwemko ana Ghana ye hwehwe 3 billion US dollars efi IMF in chain they are a choky ye reserves ana nko yi no IMF board betu dwa se omatna form ahwe nsem no mo fi se eyampa se so mutumi bua Ghana nti board na ja atum se o se IMF etumi ma Ghana sa 3 billion dollars ye ka se eno a na 600 million dollars was asking him no ebeto Bank of Ghana account mo eno na ne ebesi ndwa na yetumi ahwe mu ye bisa se IMF bailout abai den na de breye ene den na e de befie mu nso de akọ na ebedi nsam ne bebre nara na as part of economy no nim say aban we buy or the friend of planting for food and jobs at the buy say eno na no de ba hwe revolutionize the agricultural sector and na apply the Peasant Farmers Association ayen hwehwe mu ye hu say ade senian na nka wo sesi ko no ankosa ne obebre atosin wo ho ne obe na atosin wo ho ye ba abesingwa na ya discuss now on the IMF general no yes Rebecca Dr. Joseph Obeng or president for the Ghana Union of Traders Association Guta Obabeka Yensa Joshua Ansa ye deputy general secretary of the Trade Union Congress yenene bedin komo Dr. Said Idrisu, economist or Louisiana Economic Development, Obejoine here. Kojo Dankwa, a member of the NDC National Communications Team. Alhaji Yusuf Fofana, a member of the NPP National Communications Team. Obakansa. Nemom, yesha siye yene Bismarck Ousu Note, or a head of programs and advocacy, Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana, and on our research of my year into planting for food and jobs creation. No, ye baba ye bedin komo ewo ho kama. Your friend is Samuel Kojo Brace. I'm just a voice meeting with a team of very hard-working people. I'm put show you together with the camera for and the sound for your directors in ano and the digimadi a bro. Inti medasi on behalf of omo na mamo akwaba edwaba Nnawotwi Yi so ewa Adom TV and the Asempa FM 94.7 ye try ho ewo Facebook nso a Adom TV ene Asempa FM wokọ dwumadi etwa so etwa ne ho wo hoi odo wadwenkyere to ha e behwe yakan mobiaso atenia also kire ewo dwumadie so akwa babium na memo achi well yenhye adwumadie se adwumadie na se abra ene Bismarck also not twetwen komo Bismarck memo achi na akwa aba
yo meje also
our fantin ekatwi
oh metum na frafra
metum na frafra
enyo
ba wan kasa de may good or may comfortable me fantin
oh make ka twino dodo
oh okay
ba fantin no so mete
etipa
enyo
okay
me fi achimfo ntin
if you achimfo
enyo
oh okay etna achimfo ze
enyo me na nati fi achimfo ntin oya na be ko
oya ko ntenya achimfo ye papa
oh ewe go abado
oh okay
me mo ye pa
what does it
oh what couple
but say yeah po nature na ya backyard family be na so
bonya da no what are
oh what are
po na etako
okay na da fra na ababe doors interesting. Planting for food and jobs was a very not a major policy for MPP Aban. Of course, at a point in Powhatan as the reason why there was some reduction in food prices, even though some Ghanaians challenged us at a point in time. What started program Nankasa Aban together it had led to the overproduction of food crops. And Shishoma ye ibazno.
All right. Good morning. Meet you on a place. Meet you for all over the country. PFD food here one. I am on a yokoso. Didn't
Kakojo.
Kojo.
Yeah.
A year no cray. We share since independence. Various governments, almost the programs we back say a bit to influence the lives of the people. Now, Osha agricultural sector this year, we had a lot of programs running. Now, program 3 pound edimu, dear friend, the fertilizer subsidy program.
Okay.
Now, I don't know, it started in 2008. Under ex-president Kufo, all corner Ujato. Now, the plan of that program, they say, a buying no, taking some costs of fertilizers. No, now farmers now, they won't pay the full price of it. Because now human will say Ghana say no, the fertilizer usage no full. And one of the key factors was that a bond was so in the family to do into. And the program now been running from 2009 up to 2016. By modifying our friend a year planting food and jobs.
So that's beginning 2017.
Exactly. Now our modification, it's also considered a year input aspect, a year seed and fertilizers, and other elements be account. Maybe to say extension, a bit to say marketing, a bit to say the almost each agriculture. The NACA program is very, very comprehensive, other than just looking at say the amount a year subsidy for a year fertilizer and seed. Now, Ukraine since 2017, our program is buying the our will be every year farmers because at that time the plan was buying no. It take 50% off with price of fertilizer. Let's say around 2017, we got off fertilizer. We could just 53 Ghana cedis. Because that was the plan. Now that plan, Emma, from the program, because of a low cost of production, now a more experience. Now since 2017, which means the subsidy component in the program now a sort because of a couple of factors, economic factors in Manama. Now, ever since the program started, there have been issues. It comes up to in the program implementation problems. A be able to say, "Ya smuggle fertilizer, akubibi." A be able to say fertilizers no, and your farmers no put ninya. A be able to fertilizers no, be a divert akubibi. Until here, as peasant farmers, your members now that have benefited from program no. There are two in whom say every time biano, you be shimu program the way I what are the issues that are coming up? Any about now to say program na mo ye no eye pa na mum A B and C di wo ho a mo hwe na mo hwe ni na program na benefit e. Until since 2017 ejuma ye taye pa. But this year do no eye sonko in a sense say also from 2017 minister na o take charge no eye honorable Akoto Akoto. But you know him say because of the ambition we give mu ama the honorable Brian e take over. Now, honorable take over no during his vetting, I can say PhD no about obehwe mu no ehu say ni obetuma ye no. nanokre about 3 weeks ago Yeshiano no order to him say PFG no or be modifying or no friend no enhanced PFG say no a better more comprehensive as saying a first one no and the further then that's good. That will provide us opportunity to say let's take a stock back at PFG no are running from 2017 2022 issues been the AP out then first our lessons no informing new PFG no so that you committee mistakes in the committee for the past PFG.
So what are the issues?
And there are two main things that we wanted to find out. The first part was looking at a budget around the PFG. Say PFG no you see a discount will be too it's going to be a value for money and that's the first part. And the second part is the PFG implementation on the ground no send the common farmers. Now we share budget partner our reports our financial say from 2017 to 2021 we have spent over 148% more than we budgeted for PFG. Let's just say we overspent the budget by 148% on average. Let me give you.
Can be also spending more than what?
We overspent the fertilizer subsidy budget by 148% on average from 2017 to 2020. And there's a partner a bit curious to say, whilst we are overspending, we are undersupplying. It's na Emma Ayenya Kakrama, you know. Just some quick figures. We share a year 2017, our program starts here now. Parliament's Fortuna's normal approved budget, you know, they approved 130 million Ghana cedis for the PFG. Let's just say PFG, no, you spend 130 million for top fertilizers, I'm a farmers. And the plan was to say, you spend this now. The target for us to supply fertilizers, no, we targeted to supply about 233,356 metric tons. Now, for 2017, no, we check Ministry of Finance on records now. Actual expenditure and spending on subsidy program, no, you have 130. We actually spent 213 million Ghana cedis. So that's over 64% overspending. But check this. We could check the amount of metric tons we are supposed to provide that. Mind you, we targeted to supply 233. We actually supplied only 121,000. A deficit of about what? 112,000 metric tons, about 148%. And you know, it gives you reason to think, say, what is happening to a huge investment now? Meanwhile, we are underspending. And these figures, it runs through 2017 up to 2020. Almost every year, we spend more than your budget, but we undersupply the fertilizer.
Hey.
And you know, ama ayenya kakramaye. And you know, ama yepese, it's important to say we take a very good comprehensive audit of the program.
Then I'm sure to arrive at this, what was your more base source of information?
Document when the Ministry of Finance. We say every year, no, before the budget is approved, we call Parliament approving. After the financial year, no, Ministry of Finance, so they release what they call their annual budget performance report for every year. In 2017, 2018, 2019, you have it. And all the figures are from the Ministry of Finance. And all my figures, this is what they released for the program. All my figures, say, at the end of the program, this is what was spent. And the figures, when you say, you're not quite nice calculation, it's straight from the Ministry of Finance. And it raises a lot of questions about the credibility of how we spent money for the PFG. It's another one area, if you say you say you be enhance PFG, you be modify now, we have to do a financial audit of the PFG to see, say, how did we spend the money? Because issues, now apart from even this, even on the ground, no, issues not about from PFG, no, I'm not there. Say, sometimes, no, people don't supply, but they are paid. Supplies be or they win contracts, no matter cotton contract. It's maybe wrong if I PFG, no. Until I say, since Minister, we also already knew an EBD, is the right time for him to do an audit. Audit the PFG, share budget, and spend no.
Okay, but per more data now more no. In 2017, you overspent it by, we overspent. We spent 213 million, right? And we spent 213 million, isn't it?
For 2017, when it comes to allocation,
it was 130 million.
130. And the actual expenditure was 213 million.
Exactly.
Yes.
And then we provided 121,000.
Exactly. From a target of 233,000. Yes.
What of 2018?
2018. 2018, allocation. The ministry parliament, the allocation to PFD was 104 million Ghana cedis. 104 million Ghana cedis. That's the allocation. The actual expenditure was 332 million Ghana cedis. That's 2018. And our over expenditure was over 200 million Ghana cedis. That's 228 million Ghana cedis, about 219%.
Over 200 million spent.
Yes, that's for 2018.
Okay. Target.
Let's go to target. 2018, we targeted to supply 270,000 metric tons of fertilizer. 270,000 metric tons. Actual supply, 183,000. So there was a deficit of 87,000 metric tons in supply. And if you couldn't do this, why do you overspend by that much?
But OSHA data now, does it not occur? Say, yeah, budget and I approve 130 million to supply 230. Now in 2018, you approve 104 for 270. And they taken into effect, say, Sikano more approve and okay, we had already overspent.
Exactly.
Or would have added into the fact, say, okay, Sikano has spent and would come and will be adding on to this one. Because this one, less money allocated, but higher tonnage to be supplied, 270 for 104 million.
Question,
2017.
Yes.
You allocated 130 million,
yes.
Right?
Yes.
For a target of 233.
Yes.
Yeah. In 2018, you allocated 104 million.
Yes. For
a target of 270.
Yes.
Target is more than even 2017, you know.
Yes.
But Sikano was lesser than the 2017. American say, our care say they took into effect the over expenditure will eat into the 2018.
Say PFG no, running no per financial year.
Okay.
We a company now supply PFG. You supply your forms and everything to the ministry. BBA ministry checks and they pay you. Pay you closing financial season. Right? And the report from Mufano, report Minister of Finance, a report for the financial year. So that financial year, expenses the Minister of Finance, no reporting.
A closer. The amount carry forward.
Now, so that's the interesting thing.
Okay.
Because sometimes, like you say, even though that year, the ministry have allocated X amount of money, you still have suppliers for that particular year.
Okay.
What I say?
Okay.
It's not. It doesn't make clear reading. Sometimes I won't say how this whole arrangement is. What I say? Because me can say about last year, you could share ex-minister, and during the discussion, it came out say a year allocation for that particular year, about 600 million or so. It also carried arrears from last year, and it was like but last year we share Ministry of Finance almost report now. They've paid the money already. Until a then gap in the OBU. And they will give you a lot of stories.
Say be a corruption because so high.
You see, no figures na no. This is what the figures are telling us. There are a lot of hidden issues be over. The say your own entity. So that's one audit will help. Will be some markers. We share PFG now from 2017. Farmers the numbers have been increasing, so that could account for it. But no adequate excuse, because you can have 10 farmers benefiting from the fertilizer. Be 10 farmers that year will be tobacco. Right? You are buying, let's say, 10 for 10 farmers. And the following year you could have 5 farmers by getting more because each of them could buy, let's say, 5. And to use these farmers and then enough.
Okay.
The metric tons now you use because payment now a delay for ministry. That's what the problem is. And there are a lot of times the Ministry of Finance, they want to do audits before they even pay the companies. Because issues will be
okay.
Of course, some district do which district director Nakasa, he will let you know, say, This year, no, the number of fertilizers they are banned in district, no, X. But when it's coming to signer to approve winner, he signed a X times 2.
Oh.
And on one he said, "Be being cost," but his hands are tight, and it's widespread. It's no, IMF about financial management and discipline in here. And for PFD, no, say you're going to a new era of PFD. Yes, you're creating interest of old ones. So that's why one of
the government of expenditure now the reason why a public debt now one of them could be because of
it could be because
said director say my supply X but me sign it for payment I mean who say X times 2
and that's why I supply X so once normally no PFD arrangements before you go to the fertilizer take it to any district it has to go to the district director and the director no so who say be X number of metric tons X abame it is all sign from A from B now it should tally with what came. But sometimes, when you say X number, but you do function bar X times 2. I say, where from this X times 2? Say, sign it. No, I sign it.
Oh.
What you say? And it is pervasive. And then one place, it happens. And there are a lot of stories from the Sankasaka. Say, people that they know, hither to PFJ, they are normal people. PFJ buy, they are normal. They are driving good cars. Meanwhile, the PFJ, they say benefited farmer. And yet, the businessman or whoever. But that's how it seems to be. That's an area that in here, if you say, a benchman can be born. And tying into that, and that goes to the second part of the work that we did. That has to do with the implementation of the program. We share last year's year, and you bear witness to it. A new boy here, papa on my name. Now, before that, we predicted, said the we are now ye delay on one, how to start a PFG. 2, a subsidy component, a bit cause a problem. Yakayasa, abandon and shut down because the business casem ayede. Until last year, no PFD a price number demand PFD no. Not a bond was so because subsidy component, it was just 15% pay. That just abandon offer 15%. That's from anafa, it be a 75%. Now, who compare the price jump from 2021 to 2022? It was over 200%. Last year, now farmers going to be tough fertilizer. If they will pay, we a friend is saying 50 kg, they pay about 160 cedis or so. Last year 2022, it jumped to 320, over 100%, and the subsidy component was just about 15%. And it got to a point who call we shops of cotton fertilizer, subsidy one, and then open market one, price do virtually the same. So if there is subsidy, say bonne wufu. But eventually, there are subsidy in any subsidy one, price the same. That was the point. But there was subsidy anyway. It's because of that, farmers do bona. In fact, per our research, over 90% alluded said because of a year bonus, they couldn't apply the fertilizer as much as they should. Because we 1 acre, they don't here 10 bags. A bonus to minto. So you better 8 bags, you better 7 bags, you better 6 bags. That affects the level of yields and productivity. Farmers will be so hard. It must say because of that, one say there are some crops you have one apply fertilizer, any a brew, emo, any other cereals, one apply fertilizer, any. Until obi one penalty then obey switch. And to call BA, who call north anyway now. Farmers will be any western region. Almost switch from a brownie way, obi cashew, obi soya, north especially soya, because no they have fertilizer. Now they're telling me say those crops almost food crops that eat they are for export.
Yeah.
And see if the farmers are switching from food crops to tree crops, it's a problem. Because eventually you beko Burkina, Akokra, Ebru, Abagana, Ebon bedding, and some wine. Those are areas that if you're in here, you say you can.
And to more farmers and I'm better to ensure that these issues are addressed.
Inti, I won't say the issue now we have now is say PFG the current shape of it, and farmers. Now, in the new company, we more or less like welcome the idea of the new enhanced PFG, because we should have a system. The farmer is targeted. There's a boy farmers and what you say. Until the farmer should be at the center of it. For instance, one of the finest natures say, PFG na yes year na place near 5 no. All our concentration was on fertilizer. Because the Jawana Sikanishe. Other aspect of value chain no, say irrigation, mechanization, marketing, you really pay attention to those areas. It is a new one about we should pay attention to those areas too because they're important.
Okay.
What interesting.
What of the more are you calling for any audit?
Yes, actually we've been writing to the Ministry of Finance over since late last year, this year, but now you need feedback. Thankfully, last week we got a feedback from them, so they are ready to meet us and sit down and discuss it. It's based on the outcome of it, issues now about we will feel say an audit will help. Yeah, audit PFG whether we had value for the PFG. If we are new PFG na ban and likely for us Minister seems very open to suggestions.
Okay.
And we are also willing to engage him. Say be a new approach from the banner, targeting aggregators. Let's find a way to ensure a better transparency. Because you fear, and they say new one the approach is say instead of targeting, say be they are supplying input to farmers, a subsidy or may targeting the friend will be an outgrower, an aggregator, say one big farmer, our farmers under him. Then they have an agreement with him, so on supply input to farmers, then they pay back to him, and he pay back to government. That agreement is fine. I only tell them they say near transparent, you get people taking over and hijacking the program. The farmers and benefiting you. So that's something we're looking out for. Ms.
Marco Sonote, grateful for this. Very revealing content because you're spending over 148% on average.
From
you're under supplying so on. Then something is wrong somewhere.
A lot of things are wrong.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Oguswa share Nnawotwi Yi wa Adom TV. Utie wa radio so a higher sempa 94.7 FM. Ye kone aba ye ba IMF ne omaje Ghana atum mama ye $3 billion no. Then ediba then so na be yefi on my way mo. Again IMF say or see it to me stabilizing nyoma because nyoma enkoye kwan be so na ye fa betumi aye ne on nsem bebre ye kafa sa $3 billion abe ho ntoni entna ye ba yisia. Akwa bio mema wakwa ba mfambra ye Nnawotwi Yi so Adom TV. Afi mrena so say ye din come about a very important subject. Ghana for nyina ni dey achieve say omaimo ye economy ni be very hard, at the closing stages of last year about the beginning stages of this year and nyamamo the inflation skyrocketed. We went as far as over 50%. Nyamiadum afi dropon kakra. We know how exchange rate at a point in the day it may jump from 10 cities it may call 12, it may call 13 in a day. It was quite a precarious situation. And IMF share situation. Abanka say the only way I bet to me I overcome what the way say you benya IMF more near to me working on our economy and sa abana program aban edekoye na yefreno the extended credit facility and IMF nsemben enomode atudwa ye nya sa sika we IMF nsembe bre de atudwa nyoma wo se yetumi ye omse wo se yetumi boye ho moden na ye de public finances back on a sustainable path omofi say revenues ye nya na expenditure no ebra ama your public debt na ayakase pa almost wo hwe nioma ban yes or bette your spending so na we raise revenue na primary deficit no still no na in remaining large in recent years close to 5% in 2021 and 3.6% in 2022. I'll say combined unsustainable rise in interest payment reaches 7.4% of GDP in 2022. Almost half of government revenue na nyadia ekoye and boy ma yenya sa heightened fiscal and debt vulnerabilities nema entumi NCC so on the program omode abe ejina large and front loaded fiscal consolidation path and almost are buying target is obenya primary balance on a commitment basis into key fiscal anchor on that program 1.5% of GDP by 2025 into that's the target. growth, 1.5% by 2025. We'll be maintaining at least until 2028. I'll say, I know idea esi omoni so sa ban betumi aye na ye ne nkofo bebre na bedi nkomo afa sa project na program IMF for ede amaye no enuma bebre no maka se o sa ban etumi eye se ne be ye betumi ate ye vulnerabilities so ya ate expenditure so na ya ensure se ne ye nya no ene ne ye spend no edididi ho omo hwa enei o hwe ye international reserves omo say between 0.5 of 0.5 month of import cover, which is calculated that will be like 2 weeks or so. It's just a papa enti or sa buying it me born home modern na or ya say import cover no between about 5 months by 2028. How do we do it? Quite be able to first one able to achieve that objective, and ye babedi nkomo. Joining me in studio, Kojo Dankwa, Regional Communications Officer of the NDC for Eastern Region, and a member of the National Communications Team of the NDC. Good morning, Kojo. It's a
Mina. Good morning.
We have a call there.
I'm penning a fubu baby say offer once and a home before Uberukro. And he said, Kojo Dankwa, my better no pay. Me say amamu bone ketase share krono ene dwirimo ekoso maya apratete apansam amra donkodum a yakodam se me say me fe no ho abufu ene yo hawo kodanna ene ani atutu agu yensem siese be fa ho abufu a wa hwe e be ka se nyankopon enye bi ne mom se mo jawidi afusane etachama eda bodwiem na ye kone ye be die ye ni hweka ye be ka se de twedi ampon no wa hebi Timia, yahu ya nsa, yahu ya.
Okay, yo. Na kojo nsa nyoma mi hu ide. Se nyoma koye ma ho.
Die na hu.
Wa brande wo wallet ne wa bodwe wo yi ho kama ide. Se nyoma koye ma.
Na o brande wo wallet na se nyoma koye.
Nkahwe mate. Alhaji Fofana, you say Fofana a member of the NPP National Communication Team. Alhaji.
You know what I say. I mean, the kind of say this is the first time I meet in any of the studios. Na mentia won so em se wo boy juma nya menhira wo oni wo team nyina ya tia mu nyina no pay amen ye be that trade ampon yakopon ase se ano pay abehie mo ha ye be bobo nyama ho efa ye my Ghana ho economy ni nyama ese ye ka ho asem na ya sanka say yes it's true we are not in normal times but ye wremu a na ye be hwe ba bi free any baby a ye wo me ne wo kase me a government spokesperson on social services.
Okay.
Me communication director for Greater Accra. Me from 2013 to 2018.
Okay.
And I'm a regional youth organizer for Greater Accra for 2 terms. And I'm a deputy regional secretary for 1 term.
Okay.
The longest serving regional officer of this party.
All right then.
Yeah.
And now
the current director of communication and current government spokesperson on social services.
Okay, that's beautiful. Now, mame share mame abenafrim poma happy birthday. I say na wa woda pa. Nyankopon enhira wo papa na oma onsanka wakoma so ebisade nyina we every teshi Apostolic Church Ghana Tweshingwa area children ministry and omde ma o ene. Na yenkwa homa no so me start with Dr. Said Idris no economist Louisiana Economic Development. Doc, me ma chena ma kwa ba de ba Nnawotwi Yi so Adom TV. Bibi aboko de.
Nyame Adom.
Yo.
Micha listeners no nyina. Micha mi papa nti me de brofo beka so mo kwancha me kakra.
O de be fra ma ye wa ho.
Exactly, yeah.
Doc, may sure say by now you've gone through a document IMF release. You've apprised yourself with a Nyoma was here to me na ye achieve the objective of this particular project. First of all, what say yenya the board approval no? Who is saying?
Well, with the board approval, at least I would say a bantam. So I know the government has done well. Let me put it that way, because even though first we were expecting it by March and it didn't come, and I find another deadline or another anticipated date of somewhere in June. So with IMF giving us or getting the approval, by May there, at least the government has done well with that. Whatever magic or whatever negotiations they did, at least they did well. Because we share, there are still other countries that Ghana for 2 years. Approval. So if Ghana has been able to get at least Abino Wayek, they have done well in that regard.
Now, OSHA program where most government say or target a primary balance on a commitment basis. The key fiscal anchor and the program 1.5% of on that comment. So government targeted primary balance on commitment basis of 1.5% of GDP by 2025. Government they can also to me first to achieve with this. If you're looking at a primary balance of 1.5% by 2025.
Well, we share document now, unless if you go to page 55 of the document, government Akasa has given over 40 policies that it intends to undertake. I mean, policies don't mean to me kind of that, but we share from page, I'll just say page 55 of the document to page 74 of the document. Government Akasa has listed the policies opposite on embarking to be able to achieve the entire program objectives in that regard. So policies in the documents because there are over 40, and that is where we should focus our attention on, at least media, civil society, and all that, to be able to actually look at that. Because I know that you need to be a holding government, in the process to be able to ensure that the government actually do what it says it will do in achieving the IMF objectives.
Now, I've turned to that page, government say or expected to grow initially, or especially growth to initially decline to 1.5% in 2023 on account of front-loaded reform measures. Before say rises steadily in 2024 and beyond. What share maybe economy where obviously then a buying and international way say well the economy could rise steadily from 2024.
That is something impressive that we are all expecting to see what miracle the government is expecting to perform. The kind of miracle in the sense that from 2007 all the way till this time, the performance of the government, and within the short period, government wants to just turn the economy around. I mean, we did say it's not going to be easy. But if the government comes out with these policies, then we just have to, I don't want to say we shouldn't rush in criticizing or we shouldn't rush in saying that, okay, it's not doable. But at least to me, wait giving it by the end of the year and see what it has been able to achieve. Then we will know if these are just rhetorics or the government actually means what it's actually put in the report. Because if you that particular page media, is like the government itself told IMF what it intends to do if it gets the financing credit. So this is our monitoring tool that the whole country we should use to be able to monitor the government. Up to this point, has it been done? If it hasn't been done, then we could all point out the lapses. But for now, if we are going to say anything, as to whether government will be able to do it or not, to some of us it will be a miracle, but hey, miracles do happen. Because right now, we are shifting away from economic. It's like the government has defied all basic economic logic, all rational logic, and it's expecting to do something. So we are waiting to see what 3 billion could do in the course of 3 years.
Which means that you won't should I expect to say on bet me achieve what they have set out to achieve, right?
To be honest, no, I don't. To be honest, I don't see how it's going to be possible. But like I said, I don't want to sound like I'm criticizing the government. Let's give the benefit of doubt to the government. But looking at, like, in the Ghana, they say that it's like if someone says they are going to give you a hat, you have to look at their their head to see if they are wearing one. At least he should also have it before they could give you. So if the government is saying that they are going to be able to turn the economy around, what have they been doing since 2017 all the way to date? So we show more track record from 2017 to date. It hasn't been impressive. So what are they intending to do different now that we should expect? And I just did some small slides. I mean, if your other panelists agree, I could share the bit of the slides that I have. Then we go probably just spend a few minutes to look at some of these issues.
Exactly. Yeah, perceive to me dissect way. So yeah, let's go ahead.
Okay. Just give me the permission to share the screen. Okay.
Uguswa share Nnawotwi.
Yeah, I think the host has to give me permission. Yeah, so that I'll be able to share the screen. Yeah.
Okay. And Dr. Said Yenedi and Komono, Dr. Joseph Obin, president for the Ghana Union of Traders Association. Doc, me machi ona makwaba. Dr. Obin, me machi.
Mejo so, bra.
Yo. Ghana call IMF yenim nsema ebeba bae na nsemu kra no 3 new taxes be ebaye. Mokra mo de to just say any say you good businesses or abra ye hwe say betumi a revive the economy no and IMF amaye 3 billion aban say ne betumi akoye mo ne say nia aban de abetu dwa wo hwe IMF document abeya any so adehunu ben na mo say in fact ene betumi akoye de amagana ene more traders
yo I say aban ena odani jahu ena ohu se de na eja no ehihye no ena oba abonten no obeka say samre baby amedro no timanko IMF omagana ye ho betre yen pa enti on say omode taxes miensa no ba ye no ye na ye nitua ese taxes no ebetimi ase ye nyuma egu ye nyuma no na esan say IMF nsise no so no ye yetimu say akodu pempenso a urban nti on the business communities no na fe ya trapped as see a card in watsem enso na ozi yentimi antua say tintina atia esan say de taxes we are bent no yenye na nya consider ma IMF enti so obehwa ne adi nyansa pa na yes ade no obi beka say bia ebia ye ntu atua te say de bia ya na ye enso na yenim say akoye kwaku ananta twene to abodi ya nti ye ma ho kwan say
well yani doctor
me the IMF na every ya say eskani bia ba no de ya you share and say a stability beba your local currency no ya de edumadi aye no say exchange rate no the din na interest rate and so ekofom na inflation kofoma and no na enabling environment for businesses to thrive. Now over here couple of months ago no na sa indicators no na ni na break enti ye hwe ani mu say IMF deal abai a very majority sa 3 indicators the two exchange rate no cause 600 million no about kwan be na ban be hwe no take advantage of it. Now what they acquisition the foreign reserves now you see at the plate up to be 2 weeks of import cover no keka. Now ama strength be about the local currency no. And no ever sa na dia for the back currency no ma. That's also boa ama ye no niema na ye di ba no so ne boa na akofom kakra na the cost of doing business no ebeba form. Now say ba form dia ne ye hwe ani mu so say Bank of Ghana so ebabo na what monetary policy rate no so na ama yenso no cost of borrowing etimi akofom saa nneɛma ni na akɔyɛ nneɛma mmiɛnsa ya ayɛ intertwined anwene abom nti asɛm rate no kɔ na interest rate ne inflation no ni na no yɛtumi ɛsane mu a na sɛ aboa yɛn ne yɛnso yɛtumi adi yɛdwadie no ama yɛtumi apaase on the benefit to the consuming public eti deɛ yɛhwɛ anim a sɛ IMF deal de bebree no de titiri no.
Okay. You know, yes, our discussions were about Ghana Echo IMF near the audit to just say, well, say Abanyas can crana still expenditure no extra, you know, the Enyana still nano and Koyi. I'm sure say you read the conditionalities associated with this particular program. And no more as traders, no more satisfied with the conditionalities there.
Yo, so about so overspending anyone can count there. So anukra de here IMF na beka kire say opa konumesika de dia konumesika mawa na wo no why overspending. And there enye IMF plan de say beka kire. Memo conditionalities bit say ye de eto bebre eto businesses so no there. And no, you're wrong. And no, you come once and say, revenue na yenyano, and ya as a result. That's what you no, your problem is a compliance, no, and anyone is a choir, a buying bet me a fossil. Now, let me, I'm sure, say what the efficient and pragmatic solutions, remember, I'm sure compliance no and then never go. So said there be a compare tax to GDP no to the neighboring countries and we say yeah there no ever form cry. Eti say form the man there no conform they say yeah tax na ye tua wa ha so no do VAT almost 22% line of taxes are your one level of taxes about 20 items taxes. The neighboring countries, you know, omudi na ayekuma ebi new 10 line of taxes cry. And wamu VAT is no so a new 22%. It ma wamu tuano affordable. And wamu compliance level no ever high. To wamu compliance level no ever high no. And ama wamu tax to GDP no akwa slow yedi no. Inti yedi no over taxation no. And wana eku no eku edwadie neku aban revenue enhancement no and inti so we share enema bi to say tax exemption policies in so wo ho a abuse no free zones no warehousing sa inti say wo go na ye nim say leakages wo ho ma ye hwe nya sa niema no na say ehun nim faso bia say so wo koye bargain bia na wo beka say me sa koje to awodo miensa ababo ape de wo ho no so and na e ka say government could have bargained for alternative and efficient measures and between the IMF enti ye kwa animu no de ye hwehwe an say akwanya bi beba ne IMF still a ye betumi asinkunya na ya kire say IMF na nkasa nyo obobuta ni say obube collapse businesses because otherwise you know they won't have any good reference. One more person good reference for countries. And it is a war for fancy shebi was it brand bargain now for fancy shebi bekuwa local industries. We are expecting Sabani a transit. You were media budget review anyone can come home you know IMF number window of opportunity. Yet me I negotiations na sabaya IMF deal no a whole pan for so papa amayen because it will amount to nothing. Say IMF deal beba yeah the 600 million be boom. Now local businesses a gua. That's a question we try catch manual won't be them bia. And inti stress IMF nankasa no abanu negotiate yenya window of opportunity be near kwa animo no and near ma ebe ha businesses in puntu no yetimi anwene ni nyina ni ye no makana yamma good alternatives now you gazette into the media budget and also the same thing. The same results are your person everything. It's a businesses bet me etumpong whilst we are in the IMF conditionalities also.
Now, so also page 56 of document, which talks about macroeconomic policies and structural reforms. One of the things I'm motion is implementing deep structural reforms to address structural issues in the economy that contributed to current challenges to embedded our fiscal and monetary policies in clear and binding multi-year framework. Now, earlier, now we can say, I was say, buying share how to me, I release the monetary, I relaxing the monetary policy rate. But if you look at a document now, it clearly says there will be tighter monetary policy. In Tinebia, relaxing it may not be adding more money that's what we have account. Because your point, I say, continue the appropriately tight monetary policy to firmly re-anchor inflation expectations and achieve low and stable inflation within our medium-term target band of 8 plus or minus 2%. And I don't know what to say because it looks like more monetary policy na dia on very relax mo kakra.
I don't know yet. Wo bargaining strength. Because I was wanting to put to prudent and a hard but we are textbook economics, but we are talking about reality. Yeah, inflation experience cost push inflation.
Okay.
As a result of accumulation of cost. And excess liquidity will be up a 2021 no reduce increasing monetary policy rate ama lending rates are cost and can you bet me a cable the liquidity in the system, but it's not helping, has it? No. Anytime no inflation no control because they are compounding the cost of doing business.
But enam sa monetary policy no mu kakra no enam na inflation eba down no.
Now inflation no eba down saying you started 13.5 in the year 2021 or so near what 13 and one 8 times. No monetary policy rate when they call could do 53%.
Yeah, doc. And it do 53, and then they brought this or increasing the monetary policy rate. Some increasing it 2 times, and then the inflation about from to the more attribute access to the monetary policy rate increment on the buy. That's why I almost said to continue the appropriately tight monetary policy rate.
No, let's be scientific about these things. I'm so among the economists no because sir, exchange rates as a factor of cost of doing business are very important. The exchange rate started coming down, and I don't know the pull factor of the inflation coming down.
Okay,
and then as a result, sir, you increase monetary policy rate never. Okay. So exchange rates are a factor as a component of cost. So and that's something too. But the difference, small difference, and trigger a higher difference in cost. And it's exchange rate bar from and they pull way down. But you don't have to increase the monetary policy rate to increase the commercial lending rates. Now it is over 40%. Cost of borrowing. 85 now. Well, no, once your inflation basket, no buy a woman no baby no made in Ghana goods near ma you food dear ye baby no gekau adentina near ma ye bia ne hase no e betimi anya sa inflation sa because se see ano okuani no ekodoafuo no akoje bosia 40% already na 40% na daba banker esa ne no ba ne ba ye na no o de 40% no eka ho ansa na near ma yakra wobeto this time yemfa so na edo ya de imported goods to say agrochemicals no nkeka ho any tractors no nkeka ho and spare parts ni na imported and the money no ebu okoso enti your cost of accumulation of cost It's one more ability to bargain and argue with the IMF. And yes, if you would be a trade do cost slaughterhouse. Now we kill local businesses in that. No, and they will never accept that.
Dr. Robin, me pese me no wrap up because I think that we need to or say ja now ko hwade for friend no na me bisa say more as traders afia sika we asha ase ebe da de na money da kwan say aban betumi aye na aboa ma economy na grow to help traders and ye nyina aye o man mu
aban my window of opportunity the answer in interest na yene IMF enkoso engage because I'm sure said that window of opportunity no ho na eniema ebeya consider ya dwedie eniema betumi aboa te said the monetary policy rate in near come has em kwan ya betumi aye ama ma relax eno no ama cost of borrowing na perform kwan ya ye befa so ama exchange rate ni betumi sustain because you sustain na when once we are your speculation around it no kra no a help pa. It is a want me anya jise bia e be sustain is a positive speculation no say near cost na esa ya wo say na esa rate no asa cost na for ya ma aginsem ti aban na nkasa so enhye ya obeye na want me sustain that this positive environment no very important eno na ye hwe ni mu say ye na no ye bobo aba chidom na ye na ye hwe kwan a ye betimi enya alternative solutions na as against the some of the conditionalities no eno basa dia ye betimi enya baby papa as a gina bio
but am hwe kwan say bia obama yan hye bia office say si a ye betimi aka so good to say aban enye se ntin hye be na mfisa say aban ye.
Yeah, on say, value for money is very important. See, I hotra ya coming na because you overspend it. It's quite bad. You be fast so you bit me against say you spend it apart no e be conform. Quite bad. You be fast so leakages in the system no so no you bit me aso no. Bibi to say a tax exemption policy. Yebenya ho akukudru etwemu ana yetwemu yebenya be 5 billion na yes anu so no na afei no yenya akukudru se eto ahoro no a ewo ho no so no yebetimi ama ne the rate of tax no upper form na compliance ne affordability no etimi aye adwuma eno ebasa ne na no ye boa positively to the development of the country.
Okay, all right, Doc. Medase, why? Thank you so much. Say what me are joining. I call Dr. Said. Dr. Said, so ye economist, no, the Louisiana Economic Development. Doc, you know, didn't come start now. New be a prepared to help buying to ensure say we get the best out of this IMF deal. No, let's go into it, sir.
Yes, may claim my host now my permission to share the screen.
Okay.
So they have to activate me to be able to share the screen. Yeah, I almost say host disabled party.
Okay.
So I take the background right so mama with permission. Yes, I need to share the
okay,
screen.
once I'm a director, I am out permission. Okay, can we stay here so that ebi abare more permission you drew baby.
Yes, baby. Now, Dr. Ekano, unless there is a bit of trade-off in that regard because most of the times, depending on, the way our economy is structured now, most of our businesses are not domestically grown. It's like they are importers businesses. So if the monetary policy goes higher, then definitely the cost of borrowing goes higher. So it goes to affect the businesses because a lot of them borrow just for import purposes because it's not like the advanced economy whereby the businesses are within the domain are not so much on import in that regard. So yes, the more you increasing the monetary policy rate, if you are not careful, you end up affecting the businesses. With the regular economic textbook, it's fine. Increasing the monetary policy rate will invariably translate to reducing inflation. Because at the end of the day, you're making sure that borrowing becomes high so that people will not borrow. Then you'll be able to control spending, thereby trickling down to controlling inflation. That is the regular textbook economics, which everybody knows. But with the kind of economy that we are dealing with in Ghana, if the Bank of Ghana is not careful, this could affect the businesses. So there is a bit of trade-off which the government really has to be careful of. Yes, businesses they wouldn't be able to borrow to be able to even go purchase their goods and services. Okay. So the government will really have to take note of that. And like that, I was pointing out with regards
to... So, me try to share your screen on that. Yeah, say between accept.
Yeah, honestly, I've been talking to a producer now to be able to give me permission. It will be going back and forth over the phone. I don't know what is happening. Why they are not giving me permission up to now.
Okay,
because I really,
from our end, you're disabled. Okay, we'll work on it. About it. Yeah, we'll work at it, sir.
You have to give me permission. If not, I won't be able to share it. Doc, because you are controlling the
Martin, once we work at it, I'm sure we'll try and rectify that. Yeah.
Rectify that exactly. So share, is like that is why I was pointing out, like the whole context, already the government and the IMF, they are telling us that almost blaming the whole economic woes on the global shocks. Global shocks in case of COVID-19 pandemic and all that. That is what they are blaming it on. But they are shifting away from the domestic activities, like the overspending of the government. Let's just say the luxury presidential rentals. All these costs could have been avoided. The over 1,000 presidential staffers. Some of the mismanagement locally affected or caused this economy woes, but the government is shifting away from that. And again, if you look at the IMF is more concerns. I do agree with some of them because they are talking of removing the VAT exemptions. It's like Ghana in particular, we give so many VAT exemptions to some of these businesses. And again, we give so much customer exemptions to some of these businesses. So there are genuine concerns that I think the government really needs to look at, because the IMF normal has more reason. Another one is tax holidays. Government is giving so many tax holidays. That is also a concern the IMF is raising. And I think I buy no stressor, no to me reduces again, they raise the issue about making progressive or making increment in personal taxes. So I don't really agree with the IMF on that aspect, because we share the tax system now. It's like we are even overburdening people who pay income taxes, because the focus should be on the tax administration or the revenue administration, because we spend so much in collecting these taxes, which doesn't even get to the government at the end of the day. So if we are able to even look into some of these tax administration, identify all these weaknesses like the IMF is saying, and be able to seal them, there wouldn't be any need to keep increasing taxes day in, day out. So that is where the government needs to really focus on, because it's like e-levy like this. You went and passed e-levy, but at the end of the day, you couldn't even raise the enough revenue, but you spent so much in collecting the e-levy. And again, at the end, people don't even get to pay it. So you really need to look into the whole administration. If you are saying that you are going to collect 1,000 in taxes, at least at the end of the day, that 1,000 should get into government coffers. The 1,000 shouldn't be divided with probably 20% or 10% going into private pockets. If the government is able to control some of these aspects, then you realize that there wouldn't be a need to keep increasing taxes. Like recently, the 3 new taxes that they passed, all this will burden the economy. All this will burden the already suffering Ghanaians in that regard. And again, we share, some of the objectives now. I totally do agree with the program objective, because the program has 3 main objectives, very clearly defined. That is restoring the macroeconomic stability, debt sustainability, and laying the foundation for higher and more inclusive growth. So it's like government is looking to be able to restore the macroeconomic stability by lowering down inflation rate to the Bank of Ghana target. And the Bank of Ghana is targeting 6% to 10% inflation rate. So if they are able to achieve that, then definitely it will be good for the country. And again, they are also looking to stabilize the city and also help with the financial stability of the banks and all that. All that constitute the macroeconomic aspect. And with the debt sustainability, they are looking to bring down the debt to GDP from 88.1% to about 55% in the long run, and also helping to moderate the rates of the debts within the medium term. These are all good for the economy if they are able to do that. And the third objective is to be able to lay the foundation for growth. That is where the private sector comes in. I don't really know what plan the government has in place to be able to help the private sector. So I will expect the government at least to engage the traders unions, the associations and all that to be able to see how they will be able to reach out to them. Because at the end of the day, it's part of the objective to be able to help the private sector to grow. And the private sector definitely forms part of the engine of growth of ever developed economy in the way. And again, part of the program objectives is to be able to support the vulnerable in society. Like we share a LEAP program now, which the government said it has increased already in the 2023 budget, and also the school feeding program, health insurance, and all that. So all these are clear objectives, which we expect that the government should be able to achieve. And to be able to achieve these three objectives, government itself is setting some policy priorities. I must say first, they will be looking at the tax policy administration, they will be looking at public financial management, and in all that regard. That is why they talk of the LEAD program being increased, the school feeding program being increased. And again, they've been able to pass the 3 new taxes. And if you recently, ECD, they've been going around disconnecting people. It's all part of the IMF program. There have been so much illegal disconnections, including some police barracks or police stations, big companies and all that, because the IMF is concerned about the energy sector being inefficient and also our cocoa sector not being efficient to a larger degree. So that is also part of the policy program that government is doing. And as we speak, by June 1st, electricity or energy bills are even supposed to go up by 18.36%, which was announced by PURC. So they are all part of measures that government is putting to be able to restore back the economy based on the IMF suggestions. And again, the other policy priority or the other policy measure is to be able to stabilize inflation and also, our foreign exchange reserve to at least 3 months of imports. See, they now can't begin. It's like our international reserves are almost depleted. It cannot even last Ghana to a month. So at least the Bank of Ghana is looking forward in putting that. And that is why to be able to control inflation, like I was saying, they are raising the policy rate. As at March, it was around 29.5%. And there are even speculations it may even go higher. But like I said, at least the Bank of Ghana has to take into account that trade-off now, especially with a developing economy like Ghana, where your businesses are more import-based. The more this rate goes higher, the more doing cost of business goes higher. So in an effect to bring inflation down, there will be a trade-off where businesses could be hedged. And it may not give us the desired results that we get. Also, there has been the policy priority of focusing on stabilizing the financial institutions. Financial institutions, that's where the government made a promise that they are going to set up a 1.5 billion financial stability fund.
Yeah,
that is a good plan if the government is able to do it, because at the end of the day, the banks that made losses like GCB Bank, which made over $50 million losses, all these other banks, they will be able to benefit from that fund and will be able to stabilize the economy. Okay. And again, like I indicated with regards to the page 55 to 47, there are over 40 policy issues that the government said it will do. So you and I, the civil society organizations, Ghanaians in general, all stakeholders, we will have to focus on this particular part of the report from page 55 to 74 and start holding the government accountable. Okay. Because, so let's say, for example, if you go to number 8, the government clearly states what it intends to do in terms of the tax compliance and all that. If you go to page, number 15, the government is telling us what it intends to do in terms of improving our social safety net. If you go to number 15, 16, so all those stuff are what we really need to really hold the government accountable to. But aside all the brilliant IMF reports, let's shift away from the IMF reports and start to dig in questions. When I say questions, let's just not read the IMF and start smiling. Oh, this is a beautiful program. Okay. Because number one, how do you fix a country?
In the next 30 seconds, we'll be to form and come any.
Yeah, okay. So how do you fix a country that is seriously in debt with GDP, debt to GDP close to 100%? So Oceania is a big concern. Again, the government said it wasn't going to IMF, but finally it went to IMF. And also, this is going to be our 18th IMF bailout. So with the 18th IMF bailout, are we really sure that it will be able to solve our economic woes? Okay. That is the question that we should all be asking. And again, if the government, with all the resources it had 2017 to date, it had over $40 billion in terms of loans, grants, and domestic revenue. Over $40 billion from 2017 all the way till now. It hasn't been able to salvage the economy. Are we really sure that $3 billion could do magic? That is what every Ghanaian we should all be asking. Okay, Doc. The government, at least to be able to tell us. And again, we as Ghanaians or we as citizens should be looking, can we trust the government enough to be able to manage even the $3 billion effectively? Okay, Doc. That is another question.
So to me, I join here, Dr. Said, economist with the Louisiana Development Association. Well, member studio, Alhaji Yusuf Fofana, government spokesperson on social infrastructure services. Social services, okay. Member of the MPP National Communications Team, and Kojo Dankwai, Regional Comms Officer for the Eastern Region for the NDC, and a member of the NDC's National Communications Team. Well, Alhaji, I'm sure you've listened to Guta, what the economists know. Bibia a rest on government. That's it. More. Everybody is saying, the issue is about revenue and expenditure. Yeah. But I said we are cutting our coat more than our size. So government has an honest task also to make sure over reduce your expenditure. Can Ghana afford trust government to do that, looking at what we've done in the past?
Thank you very much. That was Mr. Chiaoni Minua Dankwabium. It's a chia, it's a phone Adom TV ashefo so ye chi obi anope emi se matie minuanum a Guta president ni Dr. The economist Said US. I've listened to both of them and think omo fantastic submissions. Ufa Guta president now, he's always been consistent. I must be frank with you. Proud to yaba abemu uti ni kasa. Yawa bemu your performance uti ni kasa edu baby anyama mu ye basa with external shocks covid mu uti ni kasa sisi answer ye free covid mu yawa IMF ni nyama ekoso uti ni all kana. I mean obia oye year. I think we need to listen to him because okasa osama kwanya ono na adwen mu ni ye kan say ni groups no ye to me share ni ye de adwuma ebeboa yen he's always said if the government would in all the time. So he tells you say onion with bibeka say bia or time be ana say bibi or yenu nia ono wehu. And no wonder he's a doctor. And say why idea, why fantastic and brilliant submission. Now the woman is say ono on him say Matthew ni Americano. Say a ban of government or a business friendly is the NPP government. That you cannot take it away from us. Everybody knows that. Yen from Buzia to Kufuor to this time. Government a believe in free market economy or believe in everything that makes business to strive. It is our government. Yangu ejuma. Yangu ebiye ejuma. Yentan ye atrimu pose yebebu obi ejuma. Oh, Debbie. Many animal say even state institution in our good in our
challenge in Eba.
Debbie, almost time no challenge. Almost almost tongue. A son say
almost time doom so not doom so on. And young one party na guy.
Can't do so. But I will get there. If you open say your cohonoma, me coho.
No, yes sir.
Yes,
but I just want to be factual. Say, I buy be any all ban on the team possible by go ejuma.
Na say you will krumha. Giok wo he. And then ye revival giok. GNTC wo he. Kede ye can say match factory wo he. Jute factory wo he. Commander near Sugar factory. Why mun eton e? All state omuton ni na. And they sold it to themselves. Me person anka me koho. Me person me purely political. But me nuanu mu they are experts in doing that. Dum so nso ye ni me dwuma egu ye. Some had to relocate. I can't do something in America. Anka me person me too political. It will not help any of us. But I say you shared idea no senate here. Anything America say ye enta en sorry keke. She see COVID be ni ho Ukraine war, ni Russia war be ni ho ni egu ni pejuma. No, we can't do that.
Mugu banks abana COVID ni ho.
Oh, yeah, liquidity banks ni save you.
Okay.
82 banks egu under NDC 4 under NDC. Yet never chroma. God is love. R50 R5. You can say Piram. Starting from rolling stem. Every time on be boa bemu. Enu ni patisi agbontin ni ye o yechire. Ni paska she. He say you can say Piram. Meaning my wife she just like that. Intimia. Baby obekono. We are still better.
Man, this government.
Oh yes.
Men's gold sunko fosi.
Oh, men's gold. Enye ni team men's gold. Money be save wo.
Na say Piram na ade so nyom so aban.
And aban is under their government.
But nyom
me chere say omo time.
But men's gold say your time. And
David me ba ma me chere wo. Men's gold ye establish no omo mre so. Ene ye ahwa han ene omo gi amanfo sika. Na intelligence am piki se nkrofo ye nya adwuma pa na omo ye. Na me wa ho until ye ba ye na ye hu say no yam break na obebu amanfo na omo sika ahye. Nti ema isenia ye no ema sika no ho kranka so nka o abetua omo. Sika no ye fa na ediko. Ye time ye de e bi nsi. No bank will collapse. Ye be save senia ya save over 4 million customers. Our banks na ini na ya kan mumu ya mo sika enshi with over 21 billion Ghana cedis. We've done all this.
You bet me I trust you.
Oh yes, we can do it. Since about 2017, and when I say you can about IMF, we should ask ourselves, how come say you call IMF? Yeah, sorry preocupe any you call IMF. Near free baby, we can about business friendly. We can about Kufuor time golden age of business. Walk room her. And you saw how businesses were striving under Kufuor. You saw it. By even under Kufuor, you saw the foreign direct investment at Ghana, the best in the whole of Africa. Baby, obia tam ni sika odiba abe investi Ghana under Kufuor. Me boa we dey say o twantro. That time no na COVID in buy o. Ukrainian won buy. One we fast sem no tra as if obi na ye e na ho kire aba. Na ko eti say obi na boni trimo po. Our person so mine. Debbie, we are coming from somewhere. Now, time Akufo-Addo, any opportunity in baby grandma, he was talking about Ghana beyond aid. Because not yet so. The whole world here touted Ghana economy as the fastest growing economy in the world. Tell me if I'm lying. You tell me if I'm lying. Fastest growing economy in the world, Ghana. 2017, 2018, 2019, early 2020. And our torrent a buy. So please, when we are talking, let's look at where we're coming from. Baby, I triple and in SA, and yeah, baby, I chair. And Ghana and the whole world has never been the same again. Tell me one single economy in the world that I strive. And that this Ukrainian and COVID are here free. Or my timu me the IMF no ya can once and be brave. Until me the no be in 2 seconds. Wow. Me ni wuka say every single economy has been affected. The whole world. Obi antum ndi ho chinye. From COVID to Ukraine, supply chain, akalas ama obi an kire no. Master, enye easy wo. Enya aben ne wo aben mu anka. Me nuanu mu ne wo aben mu anka. Ye be ywi nipa nam.
But you remember 20?
Oh yes.
You remember 2011?
Because
under Mills, Ghana's economy was one of the best performing. It was one of the fastest growing economies as a result of oil. Yeah, but 2017 then I hinge on. I can say you were the fastest.
Me na mikai anka na ga say allow you concoct.
Okay, then now more kind of.
It's just like the cocoa. You for cocoa 340 metric tons. Omumreso 2001. By the time I hear free abayamono, you dey cover 770 metric tons.
Because fastest no, men can 2028 to make 2017.
Me ba say o kan omo die no. Me kire wo ni enti a omo move at that time no because me bisa say dey potin may so rest in peace. The former president Mills Edo Sano. You cannot say it, but you've even mentioned one. Yenya oil. Yenya oil in commercial quantity. The jano. And I have moved the economy from a hippic economy. Hippic and here economy to a middle income economy. And the Mills. And the cocoa from 340,000 metric tons to 770,000 metric tons. Any ajano. Okay, I said 2000 and now by 2010 almost 1 million. Okay, bet me adu cocoa. Now 1 year na waye. A investment with mass cocoa spraying exercise. Ni fertilizer free for the no. No any amount under them. Can they claim it? First no person will claim one right. Same with you can't say upeso calling chair.
Yeah, me calling her. You didn't answer the question. Just 10 seconds. Let me just say, in 2017, no, more economy na was growing. It was hinged on a daddy. A daddy na man grow, sir.
Yeah, about 2017, you can say a bit me aye. And we said, say, if given opportunity, even things like free SHS, grana is scanning was okay. Almost in Niska. And I won't kai.
Oh, you're not answering the question.
The question is, I'm giving you things that we did, even without
economy no grow here.
Oh, economy no there, massa. Under our yes, can you say our government from 2017, every prudent management of economy na you know. And when you ba you be do sa pempenso no. You move. One move Greek, one move you can say and do pempenso. You will not be classified.
Mate.
As the fastest
I'll come back to you. Economy
in the world.
It was because of prudent measures.
At that time, without any external shocks, we had the freedom to put things in place and also move the economy from.
So IMF, you know, the home command yaba. The only also buying a to me share or done the economy to me benefit me anyway na.
Minya, but I say, my sense in chair you. In chair me opinion na me find chance on come and this if we war a pui mantem. Na nene titru me a chairman Kofi a minta was wedru. And then I would that chairman ube to me. Yamin shira me ma wa pa. Minya, near the kind. I say, ubisa minya opinion no. Say a dear no more year and a ma sa economy according to him or say it grew in leaps and bounds in 2017 no and may that growth no I was not then nam 10 on to minka because he doesn't even know. They can also when say before I be free abam they discover 2 additional oil filter ya dia to ho e dia ma ban be fire e hu sika sabe twitwiri die omo fire ebio wo hwe eye niam bia na de agu akwam buffers na de agu akwam a GIF wo hwe bibi ti se ye kan say kind of saying, how do you call it, legacy debtor. Now, what no more. Your day a ibegu akwamua, and also every year biana and kofui omu rekin over 3 billion. Nini nano, nesikano ekomo. And overcast and then because of all these things, you go akwamuno. My economy in 2017, you bisa want to mean, and you are saying say prudent economic measures. What are you talking about? You don't even know. Yet also me say a business friendly. No mo di omu adwuma. On say okay no say omu gu banks ahodo maku be say enwotwe and omu gu no. Financial institutions omu gu no o de savings and loans, o de hwan credit union is ade ne ka ho. Over 500 of them in Omuguno.
Source near there.
Oh, check even the friends and Bank of Ghana. More economic and summary a year on the buyer in 20, I think was it 18.
I'm so 500.
Oh, financial institutions, you kind of say savings and loans and all of those things now. About 500 of them. And you go no. And what we say, you may I'm a Ghana for a cotinefi. 1 year cotinefi, 1 year Jumania Minia. And then over 50,000 people. I enya dumaye. 1 year on sika ko kamu ne wo munya sika amfa nto even aduan. 1 year opebidi akoya supiti wonya bi no. Edoso sene 1 year eneme no kase watimi amom adwuma. And ye can you are saying say you are business friendly. Ye can you are saying say wo de unwu adwuma. Ye can say God is love. Just motors. Ada wo refi. Momo ba ye ya. Men's good. Hwe nipa adi o mawu hwe amanfo anya stroke amanfo afa ho. And we are talking about all of these things when you unfair. I was someone that chop a break Ghana for no. I bet na sabi o se to foot rogu Ghana for ni. Ghana for the tie no. Omuni near eyama wom. Me ni afa yama IMF issues no so. Adia ba ko a was se obi MPP ni no bet na studio ha was so ye. E kire Ghana for no se o so de chaupa o de nkotodwe egu fam. Na o de nisuo e pa Ghana for che o se Ghana for ye di mabro. Ghana for ya dada. Eti na mi jimi di se anka mi nia yo ba he anka de chow pa na de bre Ghana for na so ono de sabi enuhu adi nuhu na MPP for omomu nu omho enu nti na oba ha no se ensem a oka nyina ye ensem a ebe hye Ghana for bufo ensem a oka nyina ye ensem a se o ye Ghana ni na wote a wan hwebe mo akoma ye o ya obenya attack no wu ebi se baby ya bedu na ni ho kwan se wosi nkidu ha enso ene ya be den ya ba beduru ha ye nua no sorry no mo ka IMF someone I can once so Russia Ukraine COVID-19 na dia bedru baby aye de yadru no kura biara nim ba ku say and IMF staff report na omo de buy no okay one of the things that omo edan na di me hu no say o say Ghana's fiscal policy characterized by overspending, structural weak domestic revenue mobilization. Overspending na wo moka ho asem na ne de ahia ene ne say COVID e ba ye na anim se mo my adwene say COVID no say no na abaye the worst of Ghana no ye na anim say COVID no it was never the worst of Ghana. It was a blessing in disguise for the people of Ghana. Didn't na make us didn't make us say COVID ba eminia sika nko a Ghana anya ekeka ko be 30 billion. Na 30 billion I demand because of COVID no. Dear Ben, I would be ayetimi aboama wo manfo na setena mu aheha wom. Wan fa anya de papa bia na mo nsanya IMF fokem. It was overspending how you sue COVID money in the year. And any money bia almost spending COVID money. Oh no, me no mienu na anim. Oko esere mu do mantemu a vice chairman or honum our not such a parliamentary candidate in one of the constituencies. Also on man 500 million as vice chairman. As parliamentary candidate, yes, also man 500 million. No cabo one onya 1 billion. I'm the man. So one fan go train no very year expedite
500,000 or 500 million.
Yeah, man, 50,000 as parliamentary candidate, 50,000 as a year vice chairman.
So 100,000 citizens.
Yes, and I'm going to many awards, no. Or no 100,000, no count Tiasia, not Tiasia 500 million. It's no cabo 1 billion. And only the mamma me. What do you try to do? Now, Ubisa was a parliamentary candidate on your MP, and your man 1 billion. Now, compares a 1 year, not bank or Kufuado, a book of Yatafre, a friends and Flagstaff House, or Moahinumbina. Some of the dubious expenditure by way,
In 9 months, Aban we spending 15 million on car tires, and car tires, you know, and you be a crayfish, so I remember the banner. And you be a car tires, you know, you the gold and you the yana. Now we spending 15 million Ghana cedi. And no, all the battery hosik anymore. A year over 150 billion. And Aban we almost spend there on car tire low. Meanwhile, you about 30 billion. 30 billion COVID and the brain, COVID and Cassas can and Kenya. We are also to tell you, almost spending over 59 million on operational enhancement of the president. Only 9 months. No operational enhancements in the idea. They should come and explain to us. I say 59 million. Ebi we are also to tell you. Almost here be our chairman during COVID. 54 million. And so overspending yeah. President Kufuor to be got private jet team or some make up brochure baby a baby a met name near call high a private jet $15,000 per hour. Okay, Kabumwa. Sikabu Bruja. Oh, nasa sisi ana mesha se.
Oh, da bia. So dey koso.
Me si ana mesha se nya botre afi na mesha se kra. Koso. Sa ensem no mo ka no. E wo se omo de tu baabi na ye hunu ne ka ho se maba. Na IMF
a minute to land.
No, o man time but say 15.
No, enye 15 I monitor 20 na mesha se me see 28.
Because I say 15.
Yes,
no, you see, yes, I have not been fair to me, Minia. Yes, I have not been fair to me.
Again, on your bank, on your banking institutions, 500. Over 400 small and microfinance companies, 8 banks. That is universal banks. So that's 408.
408.
And 23 savings and loans. So that's 430.
430. Now, wow, 431.
Yes,
is it something small? It's what? 431 in Yuma Yeguno. Imagine the number of people are employed. Imagine 1 year you employ 1 year and wash one. So and 1 year there is not something small. Meaning you no so to nchanya. You no mind na makwa IMF e nkrofo a. The hypocrisy is too much. Okay, in 2016, Emra Ghana I don't see a quiet method from someone on the friends and same consensus. Yentas and Ghana, one cast or mama. Omaka today and so be a IMF, you be a sub Yetibon Cosso, or you be a sub only answer, or you be a sub only mamma, it's a net, one IMF, and the minimum mamma. A patch said, no more, much lam young was a Yetibon Cosso, and the more much lam young was a Mutila my bone. And you know, I'm not a sense, you catch it almost a sense, no munyaka because, and someone more can and someone no correct. And then they do hey, America some requirement because of someone in opposition, you know. You can't some requirement. So young Quatina, and no, ya the local measures by and by Ghana economy, Najina, and my requirement. At the end of the buy, almost some coffee, ABB, a friend, levy about. I say, levy by requirement for you. Levy a buy, and I mean, no name say, and I'm here
because of campaign and we
campaign, many ATI. And Madame would levy and man would 11 man and penny for say any on one etiquette. Ye two for say a percentage I'm a person and also okay. Want him nothing. Now when you hear for the influence and I'm yet to be a Jessica and a young matter. Meaning now you two for mine and they went here. Okay. Say come to here and can 11 to me a day and say 11 year mostly and judgment Macquarie and you be 11 years to an answer in yet. Kena a 12 do a more better to Ghana for so and we have one of the conditionalities. Your friend is saying, what IMF a bailout here, I normally say 100 million a year. And it's a personal income taxes because a 12 would and soon in Nachi, most under 12 2 years so. And the Juma, I was here for Ghana for Juma in the public sector. I'm no say, and the IMF was here to me for Ghana for Juma. And then 1 year, we are Benjuma, Sike was here, the man yet you one car, I have to be an increment. I was here, but almost the rate at which would increase. No, yen to me increases you. And I mean, me and Luca say, Adia Bakwa, Ebe Hagana for ya, hey, ya, how Yene, Amanihunu, Ebe 2 years on and say. A year electricity tariff, a year water tariffs, and as a tariffs are you treat ya, Nino. Every quarter, Biano, and the Cosro, and then I can say, you talk electricity near you 18%. In June, Yabasa, Ama Akos Rubio. Okay, thank you. When we now Coswa, you know, Baha. Omo fa a friends and chopper and Megana phone country Ghana for the baby your mine econo. A chopper near Pamo say, Momo near to me, no mine no NC. It's a good animal. I was almost say, oh, me name no, make us say, so team now, make us for me, yeah.
Yo, me that say, Let me say, okay, so on see from Osaka for almost 4 minutes.
Dabi.
And number two.
Don't worry, please go. Please go on. Would you go on? Me patcha, just go.
Just go on. Kwan mani kasa intimate say me kasa interjection. Because media no manya kwan. And kasa interjection only there he.
When there's a price now, do it. Okay, when there's a price,
you talked about time. And but I think I have to make my point. And
exactly, that's the point.
That's the
make a point.
Obia, yenya oil in 2007. Omo can say yenya oil, jongo. And then you are talking about oil fields. Yanya oil nanka. Will you talk about oil fields? On our legacy debt, legacy mudijai. You wouldn't be talking about it. Oil nanka say anti any imprison ministers. Chachuchi kata money way. Enti yet can about oil namu kasa. Me crowd me bisam say, hey, are these people were these people who said say oil no jongwana? That's number one. Number two, 400 and something banks now. Ye save we and we saved them. Yangu obiejuma. We saved the banks. Essentially, I collapsed that since 2015. But me akasa muse ene nukure. Ye buy ye na banks ye any idea omo akọ ye can saying intensive care unit. Ena ye save obia sika. Obia sika nhwe. Obubie ni obeka say ye save bank no ni sika no ehwe o se wanya ni sika. Enti mu kasa yangu eduma ena yangu bank. That's the difference between ye anymore. Yanko senti then muko chen senti no den e di brega na fo. Muko senti baye a say muntumi biom obi an beboa mo no yanko senti. A muko ye no. E ho na conditions a ye kan say ye mamu ye kan say pi. Say mudiso a bibia be ye kama. Want me and diso e na mudwane call IMF. After senti na muko IMF and na wo refi because munnimi ye na external shocks bi ni ho bibia ni ho a ha Ghana e na mudi e fa sa o ha omo under IMF conditionality, then jobs no ye can and in our budget this year 2023 say ya freeze employment. Me can we dey say o chantro. Ye can in our 2023 budget. Ya IMF. But I thank God say we see abobusia. Busia ni dey ye be komu a ye be hu busia mu di jaye ni be bia e free ye ni nyama ye be hu ni nyina bet me pese make kono sa na ko political. Be ye bobusia eni e di free SHS. Ye bobusia eni e di to 307 ambulances. Nanka COVID baye anda anka abobo ya na ni e di be sisa COVID patients. Ubeka say timely. It came at the right time anche eda COVID baye. Ye bobusia di esa ye bobusia ni e di zip line drones no baye. Muka ze betutwa ema omodware obontin mfoni. Because mudia di papa bia no enfamo ho ye bobusia eni ediba soft loan NBA DSI ukaya ema obia ndisi for kra na ko Jesus ka no chen obia COVID sika no muna mudie muko G team numbers edi ko G COVID sika edi ko twa amanu eko D eko wo fufuo die wura fiana ye bobusia
ndisi ni be na ko G COVID sika ndisi ni be boni pa ba ko di.
Oh, na your body na Ghana fan nyina ye se bia ko ye team number 20 Masa we kase me chant
obi fi MPP ma be kase no man 1 billion
me pese body me body ya for dia hold on okay body omo aye gu omo bank
monte
omo o say ye gu bank omo juma say no bubo what is no din
kojo ne alaji
Debi omo aye see ye gu bank sa omo juma say no what is no bo omo
alaji
say ye politics
alaji if you are not going to listen to me then
if factory no wa here
alaji if someone hear me I
was interjecting. You never stopped.
No, I've called all of you as
a when he was talking, I was here. I never opened my mouth.
What was happening? I've called all of you as a gentleman.
Yes,
it means I'm drawing your attention to the fact say, Munyabuta, I need sanity on the show.
You have to, yeah.
But that's why I was calling you
to stop what he was doing. Because all Kasano I never opened my mouth.
All of you gentlemen.
No, you don't call all of us. I was on the floor. I was on the floor. Anyway,
break now. All right, so yeah, more Aquababio and Fambra and Nnawotwi Yi. So well, it became very hot, but we're back here. Alaji, and you are making your submissions. And I
making about soft loans, sir. And I'm
okay. Right. 2 minutes 30 seconds. No problem. 2 minutes 30 seconds. No then problem. We wrap up. Why?
Okay. COVID miracle. I say aban Emma who kwan. So beyond code register. Can say IRA. No the TIN number. Satan na Ghana phone you know TIN number. You do 4% of Ghanaians. And now many will say because of soft loans now Ghana for code G NDC for na G do. No. Essence almost a life eko G oko nima IRS emi say nima NDC for the door so do 10 bi kra no car beto mu a ji say stop car no no fan chain obi akwaji tin number akwaji soft loan eno na me ka no won ti ase ye di ma COVID time ye ma Ghana for duduo e ma na me ni wo ka say nipa beye 80% e wo tin number e na me ka say yen sika na wo kire say yakwaji no eno na me bubo so no factories ayesisi oyo on kire ye factory abo akwa omo esi factories aye sisi amagana for dams aye ko ye wo northern regions meme krom ka ho baby ami nana no mo free e ka ho ene me ni wo kasa interchanges 13 NEC ebi akakakra e be wi loans na ye die na amusi loans ena de hospitals aye ye sisi ene agenda 111 kra ye si 111 hospitals atego ebi nsi oyase afa na nyina da many will say there are various stages of completion because I know you track it and yenum baby omodu and many will say ushe airports ahuhudo yesi and I be more ye phase 2 muko ye Kumasi musimu ye international airport yenyina ye hu ye ba ye hwe djuma yakọ ye Kumasi international airport hwe Tamale international airport djuma yakọ ye wo hono ye ba ye si international ohu a ubesu hwe djuma yakọ ye hwe sumunyani setakradi ena ye ka se hwe alori kwan ahodoa ya ye wo krom
takwa airport na mo ye
I say yeah start omo airport no ana wonya ho kwan takwa yes I think Cape Coast yes Cape Coast na takwa oh yes Cape Coast
na kind of
Cape Coast no it's 3 hours less than 3 hours to go mobile musi mobile ho airport what me anye
my airport go Cape Coast
mo dey me see ye be ye and I won't hear the American no
but we also go Chandro
hold on
wa hu ni o ka bebre wa ha no mo no me chiro to ha no mo na me respond here now I respond
okay
now I respond but we don't talk whilst you don't talk whilst I'm talking
Alaji Patrol
and I see e Cape Coast the tourism hub Ghana musi dey be Cape Coast be Accra be home ko start airport want me anya hwe wo ho no ye be ye ana mu na munye ho airport ene hwe duma ye de sika Ghana sika e hwe mu ye hwe landing sites aye sisi wa Ghana along the coast and some areas in the hinterlands landing sites I have all the needs of the towns in the Jamestown mo Axim money way see defense here into ye jisika na we can account for the money we don't just say sika no wa hen na makotam dam na masua ya basudia but me see from in 2 minutes and I in 1 minute
no
in 30 seconds in 30 seconds
me that's allowed in 30 seconds one thing I also make on say Free SHS funded with the annual budget funding amount from the oil.
They could
have and from
they could have done it. They could have done it. They said
Alaji has been well exposed.
Oh, Mate.
Free SHS no can. And ya besia no mkoje ni free SHS. Besia no mutwa mo nu.
Mate 1%. I know of that.
Alaji also ti asese. Sika twitwiri bia and the besia mabonko a ye ka and Ghana besia dia over 600 billion.
How many?
Say sika me pacho nyabote. Say sika eno na moda koto ambulance. Na o ka se COVID motor ambulance na fa nipa sabe de ne ko KVIP so ana anya hospital de ko pacho
Debbie
your minister of health
so I have the
at the time onya COVID anya University of Ghana Medical Center ko wuye mo minister senior MP before anya University of Ghana Medical Center anya Ridge Hospital anya Bank of Ghana Hospital anya John Dramani Mahama NDCAC ya ankasa America mu na mo anka Ghana no kwanka mun ka ho bio eti wo be ambulance asem ambulance so far nipa ko KVIP
na hospital mo dey when I see more hospital
BSSI sika ya de Won't mean show with a scintilla of evidence. And I say, NDC ni back to me, then AJ, NBS, won't mean show MP before anymore. NDC ni JB, and no one can come here. And so I'm natural say, oh, member a parliamentary candidate and vice chairman in the northern region, AJ 1 billion. You have not been able to refute that. So Alad, you have been exposed once again. No, and also, we are also I can't factories. Ah, why? Who's that say factory baby is here? Oko a commander sugar factory and one. And well, and I see it. Oko a mina face processing one. Why you commander sugar factory? And a factory Alad Pacho.
No, you couldn't do it. Don't expose yourself. People are listening to you. People are watching. Please, no. So don't lie. Don't sit here and lie. No, tell him whether they did the commander sugar factory. Please ask him that question.
Please respect yourself.
You couldn't do it. You couldn't do it. We are rather doing it now. We are rather doing it.
Stop that and respect the commander. They brought in $30 million to refurbish the factory. That one we all know. Yeah.
We are not on China.
Why yes is here.
Okay. And the factory I can.
Thank you very much, gentlemen.
No. Yes, I have not been fair. No, but yes, I have not been fair. Oh, yes, I have not been fair. No, you have not been fair. You have not been fair.
Ever since I came.
No, but you have not been fair. Oh, yes, I have not been fair.
To me, I see one single factory.
But let me apologize on behalf of everybody for ASNia and then answer that quite serene. We've had some distractions here and here, but move on. I hope next time around we'll do better. Good morning.